Fabric Castle's 48 color pencil box, and as one of my amazing subscribers said, I like being resourceful and always prefer the art supplies which are affordable and easily accessible for anyone. And for this video I'm gonna use only 3 types of colors from all this range. And here's the reference image which I downloaded from Google Images, and the link is in the description. So first of all, I'm gonna grab all the colors which I think are present in our reference, and I'm gonna make a color palette with all the selected colors. So as you can see, I used all these 11 colors to make this color palette, and I'm gonna reduce my selection to the ones which genuinely matches my required color tone. And as you can see, this 327 is present in the blurred area of this cherry, and this 318 is a little bit orange, so it cannot be used in our drawing. And both of these colors, 321 and 326, can be used as a base layer of the cherry. Okay, now moving on to the green shades, and as you can see, this 370 is the main color of the stem. 362 is completely different from the requirement. Now this 366 and 359 are basically the same color with different darkness levels. So I'm gonna use this 359 for my drawing. And 363 is clearly not present anywhere in the reference. Okay, so as you can see, we have this yellowish color in this portion of the cherry. So I'm gonna use this darker tone from these 2 remaining colors. And now I have reduced my selection from 11 to 6. You can use this similar process for color selection in any of your drawings or with any of your color pencil brand. And by the way, the numbers I wrote on the paper are visible on the back end of each pencil. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna take this 326 and darken the outlines of these droplets, because if we leave them as they are, they will fade away in the base layer. So I'm gonna darken the outlines with the darker gray color like 326. By the way, I drew this whole outline using grid method, and the link of grid reference is available in the description. Okay, as I'm done with this outlining, let's grab a 321 and fill this whole cherry with a base layer. While adding the base layer, make sure the strokes are merged with each other. Take your time with this step because it's going to be the most important one. And by the way, the complete real-time tutorial is available for patrons. Link is in the description as always. Okay, now take a small piece of paper towel and fold it 3 to 4 times to make a shape like this. And start blending the base layer slowly and smoothly. And as you might remember from my previous chili pepper video, I tried blending the whole base layer with a brush, and it didn't work out so well. So this time I'm gonna blend it with a tissue paper and see what happens. Wow, this is amazing. Tissue paper really works better than the brushes, in case of pencil colors obviously, because they are a little bit sticky. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this same 321 and add this second layer just by increasing the pressure a little bit. And make sure the strokes are merged with each other. This step will definitely take some time, but I think it's worth investing some considering the end results. Okay, as the base layer is ready, now I'm gonna grab this 327 and add a layer on the outline of the cherry. You can make a little bit blurry effect by adding a lighter shade outside the outline. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this 326 and fill the droplets with a darker shade. Basically, this whole drawing was an experiment. I even procrastinated for about 3 to 4 hours before starting this drawing because I never tried anything like this before and had no idea how to draw and progress. But then I totally forgot about the recording and let my inner self handle this situation. And as a result, I was extremely satisfied with the end results. So I think it's okay to be a little bit nervous before starting a drawing, but make sure you follow along and please don't hesitate to do experiments because we, the self-taught artists, always learn from our experiments and failures. Okay, now I'm gonna fill this area here with a darker shade of 326. So as you can see, the red base is ready, and now I'm going to use this black color to add some contrast. You just have to add a slight shade on the surface. Don't press too hard or you will mess up the base layers. And also add some darker shades inside the droplets. Okay, so before proceeding further, I'm gonna try blending the upper layer with a draw brush and see what happens. This looks cool. Let's shade and blend the remaining cherry. Okay, now I'm gonna take this Tombow Mono Zero razor and add some highlights on the droplets which are on the outline, or you can say the blurry ones. We needed blurred highlights on the outer droplets, so I preferred Mono razor for this purpose because it doesn't add those sharp white highlights. Just add an arc-like highlight outside each droplet, or you can follow the reference if you want. So the outer portion is ready, and now it's time to add some sharp white highlights in the middle portion. So I'm gonna grab a white jelly roll pen and add some highlights in the droplets. You can also use a whitener aka correction pen for this purpose. And you can also reshape the highlights with a 326 or any red color, or even add some details in it. The droplets will look more realistic with small details. Fill the third one and let it dry. And meanwhile, I'm gonna grab a tissue paper and do some experiments on the first one. Please don't follow this step, I just wanna show you something. Basically, my goal was to tint the lower side of the highlight. But as you can see, it doesn't work so well. So now I'm gonna grab this 321 and add some shade on the lower side. Make sure you shade lightly or you'll scratch the highlights. And here you go. You can clearly see the difference between a tinted and a simple one. And now you can tint all the highlights by following the same process. Or you can visit the link in the description to get the real-time tutorial. I will repeat the same process for all the droplets. So meanwhile, when you are waiting for the highlights to dry, let's grab our Tombow Mono Zero razor and add some highlights in this portion of the cherry, and it will make our drawing look more realistic. And you can also add some white dots with a gel pen and small white lines with a mono razor to make the cherry texture. Okay, let's get back to the tinting process. And I just realized I have a white color which I can utilize somewhere. So let's try using it in the blurred highlights. Looks good, but I think the mono razor works better in this case. So anyways, let's grab the 383 and add a slight shade here in this portion. You can skip this step if you want. I personally don't prefer this color here, but it's in the reference, so I had to. Now the remaining process is same for the highlights. Okay, now moving on to the stem portion or pedicel or whatever you call it. Just grab 370 and fill the whole stem with a base layer. Now grab your 359 and add some darker shade. Most importantly in this lower circular portion. Okay, now I'm gonna grab this 383 and fill this lower circular portion with a brownish shade. Now grab your black color and add some contrast. You can fill some brown color in between to make the contrast look a little bit brownish. The red color I used here is optional. I was just experimenting something. And now you can add some highlights using a jelly roll to make it a little bit shiny. Okay, moving on to the shadow. First of all, I'm gonna add a base layer of red and blend it with a tissue paper. And now I'm gonna add the second layer of black and blend it with a dry brush. You can also add some core shadow in this lower portion of the cherry. And here you go, your hyper-realistic drawing, or you can say my first hyper-realistic color